we have to start with the Chargers and Chiefs game. Gilbert, I wrote this that it was a tale of two different games for the Chargers. First half, the defense couldn't stop Patrick Mahomes. 330 passing yards. Travis Kelsey 140 over 140. One touchdown. Patrick had 3 touchdowns. They were playing zone, even whatever Brandon Staley said. Obviously, he said that they mixed in some man, but they were playing zone. And in the second half, they switched over to man, and it seemed like they were able to do well against the Chiefs defense or against the Chiefs offense. First half of the Chargers offense, they were scoring almost at will. They were matching play for play with the Chiefs, and in the second half, they couldn't even get going. So they end up losing 31-17. It was a much closer game. Obviously, Gilbert, I was thinking in the game, when is McCole Hartman going to do? He's going to have an explosive play. Boom, 50-yard return, sets up the game-clinching touchdown. Gilbert, what was your we'll get to you in a second, sir. We'll get to you in a second. We're just opening it up right here. But Gilbert, just what did you think about the beginning of or what did you think of this game?
Yeah, Fernando, when you were doing the stats, you forgot one thing, one notable stat.
Oh
One
God.
dance by Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes. Well, one that I know of, but it was a really, really bad dance, and I'm sure for Chargers fan that stung to see the proof
Nate
shot.
Burleson and what's his name? What's the other dude on the Bengals quarterback, former quarterback? He's on CBS.
Oh, Phil Sims.
No, the other one, the
Oh,
Bengals
that's
one.
the Giants one. Never mind. I forget.
Yeah.
Boomer. I said
Boomer.
yeah.
They recreated the dance after the game, and I'm like, dude, like, and I'm not even going to tell you the words that Dan and Dago used, but I think I honestly think they're doing the opposite of what they think they're actually doing with showing Brittany and all that stuff. I don't know about all this gaining fanship and all this stuff. I think it's more pissing off the casual fan, to be honest, and especially with all these hits. Like Kareem Jackson suspended 4 games for a hit. Like, get out of here. But we're obviously talking about the Charger game. But yeah, it was just.
I'll get back.
You noticed who she high fived, right? I
What was
was
that?
surprised nobody said that on Twitter. Who she high fived behind her?
Oh yeah, Jackson Mahomes. Yeah, it was an interesting
Doing high fiving him.
tweet to say the least.
Yeah.
But I'll bring us back on track. I just thought that was kind of an eyesore to see for at least for me, for a lot of people too.
Some guy
But
tweeted out, "This is the whitest thing I've seen."
yeah, I know. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to watch this." But going back to the game.
Oh, remember she had that meme where she was like on stage going like this.
If she was doing it by herself, that's fine. But the other characters,
No, I feel
a little
you.
much.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Fernando, you brought up the zone coverage for the way the Chargers are playing Patrick Mahomes, and man, leave it to the Chargers to let Mahomes and Kelsey go back and throw back the clock, because they were struggling this year. And outside of the rookie Rice, like Mahomes was kind of struggling to get people involved, and everything was working. And I think you tweeted out that Mahomes has 300 yards passing, in the second quarter, and I looked it up, like, oh man, you're right. He finished with 425, so they got lit up. And Mahomes does that to everybody, but it feels like the Chargers made it easier on them. And why not make an adjustment earlier in the game? And I was saying, if the Chargers lose this game, might as well hand the Chiefs the AFC West title for the 8 consecutive year, 8 freaking years, Fernando. It's supposed to be a down year for the Chiefs, so I hate to go big picture here, but I'm ready to fork the Chargers, Fernando. Like, they don't improve defensively. They have so much talent on both sides of the football, and yeah, on offense, yeah, they're hurting without Corey Linsley. They're hurting without Mike Williams. And credit to you for bringing up Mike Williams last week. They need this guy to make big time plays. So it's not working offensively. It's not working defensively. And what else can you do? Go ahead,
Gilbert. This is a 3rd and 15. Hold on. Can you take that banner down?
Yeah, hold on. Give me a
My
second.
bad. Sorry. But it's a 3rd and 15. I know it's in the third quarter, late in the third quarter. Mahomes runs this, Gilbert. So I don't know if you can see you see my mouse. He takes it from right here.
Yeah, I remember this.
Runs this way and gains the first down. Why? Why? Like, I don't know. And then I don't know if you saw what Pop talked to some players after the game, and I don't know, because I know Brandon Staley said after the game, like, oh, we played some man in the first half, but there was a lot of Yeah.
Real quick for now, before you make a
Go ahead.
point, that run on Mahomes reminded me of the first Mahomes Herbert showdown at SoFi Stadium with no fans in the
Yep.
crowd. Mahomes just kept running and running. It was like a third and long, third and long. He just kept running and running. So this is nothing new here, but it gave me flashbacks to that first game.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, it's just one of those things. My bad. You could put the banner back.
Oh,
Um, it's just one of those things where you're kind of like, dude, like what's going on? Like they're struggling, and then now, I mean, yeah, and I had said they're missing Lindsley, they're missing
Mike
Mike
Williams.
Williams, and now you're like doubting like what this offense really looks like. I mean, yesterday they were able to get like the defense in the second half. They were able to get stops. They got they got a fumble and they
Mhm.
got three stops in a row of punts. In those three punts, the Chargers went 3-and-out on offense. And it's like what is going on with this offense? And I understand like yes, Justin Herbert deserves some criticism, but at the same time, the dude's getting walloped out there. Like I remember for numerous seasons, Philip Rivers, like there was like three, I think from 2014 to about 2017, he was getting the crap beat out of him every single game. And this is kind of familiar. Like this is kind of the same thing. That's why, like yesterday, Gilbert, he says we need a reset. Well, is a reset like maybe mixing the offensive line around, trying to do some different things with it? Because right now it's just not working. And I know you have the Bears coming in. The Bears just beat the crap out of the Raiders, and you struggled against those Raiders 2 weeks
Tyson.
ago to put them. Who me?
No, Tyson is
Oh,
the
Tyson.
quarterback
Oh,
for
I
the
thought you said
Bears.
feisty. I was like,
No,
whoa.
no.
I was like,
But also the
but
Bears are feisty coming into
yeah.
SoFi.
But I mean, you like I just don't know what like I don't know what that means when it comes to what he says. But so this is what Mike Williams said. We played zone, and this is again from Daniel Popper of the Athletic.
Michael Davis, you
We,
mean?
yeah. This is what Michael Davis told Pop. We played zone. Kelsey just goes to the spot, turns around. It has nothing to do with Travis. It's us. We got to get in their ass. We got to come down and play the Chiefs. Oh, when you come down and play the Chiefs, you got to come out and play man and get on their ass. And then they go to Derwin James. We played a little bit too much zone in the first half. We was just getting behind. He was just getting behind our linebackers. He was getting open. In the second half, we switched it up. And that's true in the second half. I mean, how many times did you really see Taylor Swift in the second half? So that's how you know it was going well for them against Travis Kelsey and the rest of them. And that's what they did. They kind of manned up. They got almost they doubled Travis a couple of times, but that was a good game plan in the second half. If you would have done that the whole game, you might have, and you got more pressure on him in the second half on Mahomes. So it's just the little things that they're missing, and that's why they're losing these games. I mean, they shouldn't be this bad. They shouldn't be 2-4, but let's go real quick to some comments. Gilbert and Fernando, I'm sick to my stomach about what the season has gone. All I say is it's time for a new regime. If this team does not win two playoffs
Two.
games,
Okay, get to the
one
playoffs
will not
first.
be enough to yeah, one. It says start fresh. Herbert is getting 100 million in cash in 2025. He needs
We
that
are
ring
going
in
off.
25 or 26. No exceptions. This is not good. The staff does not get it done. I wash my hands with them. Okay, so some people are
Well,
done.
all right.
But go ahead.
Yeah, but I just wanted to give a take of like because I was watching that second quarter, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a little shootout here. This is what we all expect. You know, the Chargers hanging with the Chiefs, pushing them, and then like you mentioned, they just go cold offensively in the second half, and it was kind of shades of the Raider game, right, where they dropped
Yeah.
24 points in the first half and they couldn't score in the second half. So, or actually they got 17, right? The Chiefs were the ones with 24 for the longest. But they were hanging. It was a one-score game for the longest until Pacheco got that touchdown at the end. Okay, that's when you know it was over. But you know that was deep in the game, and you got to make more offensively. And you know you got Austin Eckler back. We're talking about the injuries as an excuse with Lindsley and Mike Williams, but you had Austin Eckler. I know Joshua Kelly had that big touchdown run. So
Why didn't you go more to Like they
yeah,
always
the
talk
hot
about
hand,
beating
right?
the hot hand.
You know, yeah, that was kind of confusing to me too. And then just you know, I like that Palmer was stepping up, but it wasn't really much on Keenan Allen, and that's credit to the Chiefs' defense. But the point I was trying to make is like, you know, it's really bad when they couldn't, you know, make it a one-score game at the end. Like, you know, they were there, and then Pacheco goes off, and it felt like, you know, a couple of turnovers here too. Like they weren't gonna even get closer after they were 7 point games because they weren't doing anything with these opportunities. You know, like you mentioned, punt, 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 short drive, and they
What?
adjusted. And it is weird that Staley didn't go man sooner. And we all know, Michael Davis plays better in man. Like, he's not that great when it comes to zone. So his comments saying that, I'm not surprised, but you do understand that your guys are probably better suited to play man. But I don't know, Frank. I go back to the second quarter. They were playing great. They were doing well. And again, like you mentioned, a tell two has. But what has you smiling? Okay. So I have a question for Gilbert, please, my bro. I love you. And Fernando, my big papa. There you go. You're the papa, Fernando. I'm just a bro. I am just a bro.
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Well, ask the question because you got a nice laugh from
Yeah, that
Fernando.
was actually pretty good. There was another thing I wanted to show you. This comes from Uncle Joe Reedy.
Oh, he's in the
Yeah.
comments? Oh, that would have been
No,
cool.
no, 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 no. He didn't comment. No, he put Chargers defense since 2021 points per game 25 points per game, 30th in the NFL. Total yards per game 361. Rush yards per game 135. Sacks allowed 97. Takeaways 55. Third down conversion 43.4%. 40-yard plays or more 37, second most in the NFL. 50-yard plays 18, the most in the NFL. Big plays allowed points 6.7, third most. So I mean 2021 is obviously since Brandon Staley came in, so that's just
Do they even have
that's
injuries on the defensive side right now, Fernando? What is the excuse for the defense? I can't figure it out.
the scheme, I think.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's coaching.
yeah. So I mean, obviously, and somebody put it in the comment here with on Reedy's tweet. Obviously, you don't have Aaron Donald there, so it
Yeah,
doesn't. So obviously, that changes a lot. But still, I mean, they've spent a lot of money on this defense. This defense should be a lot better. They should be competing a lot more. It's just not it's not good. And I think Reedy had another tweet. I'll find it right now. It was Kelsey's stats. I mean, honestly, I feel like sometimes we do take for granted some of the, we showed this yesterday on What's Up Bolts, but during the Gus Bradley era, Travis Kelsey had 100-yard receiving games between 2013 and 2020. He had 25 against other teams. Since
really.
2021, Kelsey has had 4 100-yard games in 5 meetings versus the Chargers. So I mean, it's just been like yesterday, Gilbert. In the second half, they started going to Derwin. Like Derwin, they put Derwin on Travis. He was able to get loose for one of them, where they called Derwin for holding, but even Kelsey like shoved him off. So it was but it's a good matchup. It's a good like one-on-one between them. But yeah, I don't know what to make of all this.
Yeah, I should probably keep tabs on Joe Reedy's tweets more often. A lot of insightful information in these tweets, but I don't know, Fernando. Like, I was watching the Rams game too, and I couldn't really explain what happened with the Steelers because I know that there was flags in that, but even this game, it just felt like you just can't hang with the Chiefs. Like, you're in a different level. They have a good defense. You're not making the right adjustments, or at least not soon enough. And then you're hanging around like with Kellen Moore. I get the injuries, but you're right. The offensive line needs to make some changes here because yeah, you get Tyson Bagnet. I should probably get his last name right in prime time. Why is this game in prime time, Fernando? By the way, but
Well, I mean, Justin Fields versus Justin Herbert. What like
yeah, it would
it
have been
is
cool.
interesting,
But
but
I guess
obviously,
I want to see Tyson because Tyson kind of reminds me because he's wearing the hat kind of tilted. He has like, all
yeah.
the tattoos. He reminds me of the guy from Meet the Millers. No regrets.
Oh yeah, no
But
regrets.
cool story, Division two guy. Maybe it'll be a nice prime time story. But after that, Fernando, they still got to play the Lions. They still got to play the Ravens. Still got to play the Bills. The Chiefs one more time. Yeah, I don't see this team going to the playoffs.
You can, but you still have to go to Green Bay, even though Green
Yeah,
Bay just
yeah.
beat Denver. Dude, you have the same
The
number of wins
Jets.
as Denver does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to go to the Jets.
Ooh, way
It's
to
it's a tough schedule.
way
You
to
still have to go
stab
to the
them.
Patriots.
Yeah, it's not. I don't see
Yeah,
them stacking wins here, but it is really early. It's just like Kellen Moore is supposed to give you this explosive offense. Now you have injuries. You don't know how to make the adjustments, and then I can't. I don't know what to say about the defense anymore, Fernando. I'm just tired of the same old kind of stuff. Watching this defense every single week.
and then there was a couple of plays yesterday where like Quentin Johnson. By the way, and it sucks because
He made
quietly
some plays.
Josh Palm, huh?
He made a couple plays.
Yeah, and well, he had made one, but
Is it one? Okay.
Josh Palmer had a quietly had a really
Pretty good
good
game.
game. I mean, 5 catches, 133. Like,
Oh, you're right. One
uh,
catch for 20 for Johnson, and that's the only one that I noticed. Then
so that was the back shoulder, yeah. But he had one where he literally like he got right past. It was a third down. Justin went to Keenan on it, but and it was incomplete. If he would have looked at Quentin had one guy to beat. Like if he would have zipped it right to him, he probably would have been gone for the touchdown. So it's just one of those things where they're
this is the only
struggling.
way you answer, Fernando, when they call you Papa.
What's the what's the question?
What's the question? What are you, Sean Payton now?
Oh no, it's this one. If the Chargers get a new GM, I want the Chiefs assistant GM. What's even the Chiefs assistant GM's name?
I don't know, but yeah, let's just copy the rivals that you can't beat, and that works so well for other teams to try to copy the Patriots. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I get
the
it
Patriots
here.
one is the
It's a
Patriots
struggle.
one is a weird one, but yeah, with this game, I mean, I still don't think that the Chiefs have solved their offensive problems. I still think they
Yeah,
have offensive
just get a
problems.
bad defense.
Yeah, like in the second half, you notice the struggles, and I know Andy Reid shouted out Swift for Travis having. By the way, that graphic was just I hated that graphic when they're like, oh, when she's there, when he's not. Dude, Travis
Feels
Kelsey is one of
better.
the best tight ends, regardless to ever play the game. Like, what does that have to do with anything? But I guess I know what they're doing. But it still doesn't solve the problem that I mean, Rashee Rice is a good receiver. I like him. I
Yeah,
think he's a young, solid receiver. But then it's like everybody else, like you don't really have another guy that like Kadarius Toney didn't really do anything yesterday. McCole Hartman is barely coming back. So they just
yeah.
everything literally went to try. Valdez
Oh, he made a
Scantling
play.
like
Yeah,
hadn't really done anything,
yeah.
and then yesterday 3 catches, 84, and he had that 46-yard touchdown grab. So
Yeah,
uh,
but like Fernando, like they if they have Kelsey, they're gonna be fine. But that's a lot of pressure on one guy. Like you need Kelsey, who
exactly.
in his mid 30s now, who's already been banged up a couple times, to be there. So, but I do like the Chiefs defense. We always overlook their defense, and this might be their best one. I know we
No,
say that every single
I
year.
like I think their defense is young. They're
Yeah,
scrappy.
yeah.
They
When
fight.
we were talking about the best defenses, I totally forgot about them when we were ranking the best defenses last week. I'm like, oh, the Chiefs are pretty good, and yeah.
The only thing I'm disappointed in is Bolton. Bolton's out
Oh
for a
yeah, with
while
the
for
wrist
them
injury. But
with a
hey,
wrist
Drew
injury.
Tranquil, former Charger,
Yeah, he
might
got
step
the
up.
sack. Yeah. There was a play though where Herbert, I think it was late in the second, he was sacked and Herbert looked at Josh Kelly and he like pointed at, like he told Josh Kelly before the play, like, hey, go block that guy. The guy goes unblocked and he comes up and he obviously sacks Herbert and Herbert gets up and you could just notice like the frustration building. But yeah,
You know
that
what I
dude,
just thought of, Fernando? At 2-4, the trade deadline has not passed yet. A couple weeks from now, you think
oh
there might
god,
be some sellers at the deadline?
no.
No,
I'd be surprised.
you're not gonna do anything this year. Maybe you got a bunch of veteran guys. A bunch of cap space issues next year. Maybe they trade. I don't know.
But I mean, what if you're
What if
you're fighting for
Khalil
your
Mack is
job?
available? You wouldn't do it?
What who?
Khalil Mack, maybe he could be
But what
available.
if you're fighting right now? They're fighting for their jobs. I mean, you have to win
That is true.
games.
You are correct.
So
The
I
GM
don't
that's
think
making the deals is fighting for his job. You're correct.